Deborah. I pray everyone is having a fantastic day. Today is Friday. Yay! Hope you guys have some fantastic plans for the weekend. My husband and I are, excuse me, I just drank a Sprite with an Egg McMuffin and a hash brown. But anywho, we are on our way out of town for a little getaway. Nothing big, just something small, just St. Louis. So we are actually going to be going to a concert tonight. Woohoo! We're going to see Gladys Knight and Peebo Bryson, right, babe?
That's right. We're gonna have some really good fun tonight.
And I know you're probably thinking, what did she do? She did something. She don't look, well, I did my hair, guys. But you'll be able to see everything tonight. I'm going to curl it up and have it really, really pretty. But anywho, I'm trying to look at my hairline. It looked like it's all the way in the back. But I guess it's just the way that I'm looking at it. So we are headed to St. Louis, like I said, for the weekend, to have a little fun, and yeah, so that is it. It's just me and him.
We're having a terrific time.
This should be interesting,
hopefully,
guys.
the weather cooperates. Sprinkled a little bit here and there, but we're gonna make it work.
So
I would like to say a lot more, but she said I need to concentrate on the road because driving with my wife is a job within itself, all by itself. She's gonna say if I'm in the right lane, she said get in the left. If I'm in the left, she said get in the right. But I love it.
safety first, guys. Safety first. So I would just be on periodically and just pick up little places that we may stop at, or just to show the scenery of the leaves.
Antiques. Wonder what kind of antiques they got in there.
With the leaves changing, I love riding out of town, especially during fall, because there's so many beautiful colors. With the trees changing of their colors, I just love that.
Why didn't you have your glasses on now? Your eyes are bothering you?
Yeah. So I will come back on when we're doing something interesting, guys. Or unless he has something interesting to say.
Just pray that I don't get a ticket. I'm doing a little bit over the speed limit. So I'm rolling, y'all. You know, get out of here. Still on 80 in a 75. So pray for a brother.
We got a late start, but I think the late start was a better. Being that the traffic is light, no traffic out here whatsoever, even getting onto the highway. So that was a blessing. Stopped at a gas station. I should have waited till we get on the road. Did some scratch offs. Didn't win $1.
You haven't did them all yet.
I got one last one to go. St. Louis, 232 miles.
You got you still got,
I got one more to go. I know, one more to go.
No, you got the fireballs. You didn't do those.
I did. I didn't win nothing. I did all of those. I did all of them. The only one that's left is bingo.
Go look at the fireball.
Okay, guys. So I went through this. I went through that. I went through that.
This one?
I went through that. Yes. I went through everything.
Oh, okay.
You don't believe me, guys.
No, I thought it looked like you didn't do it this time.
Little Seymour over there is flying.
He must have kept going. You gotta come up there flying then.
Okay, guys. So
Scared,
I'm going. I have one more left. I have the bingo. So I started it, and then I stopped because I ran into McDonald's. So I am going to pick it back up and start on it now, and we shall see. Woohoo! Wish me luck, guys. I'll let you know if I win anything. I'll be back.
This has reached $1 billion.
Okay guys, so we have stopped. We got our winning number. So if you haven't played, don't worry about it because I already got the tickets. And I got more scratch offs.
We done went to $1 billion.
Wow.
$1 billion.
What if one person win that?
Man, I cry. Unless it's me.
So we are back on the road, guys. We'll be back. Love road trips, yay.
You
Everett James DJing tomorrow and winning the Mega and the Powerball. That's right, man. The Mega Millions drawing us tonight. And that jackpot is up to $970 million.
You can get the latest
you buy some competition, because I'm going to buy me a ticket.
Went up to $1 billion.
But, you know what? I'm going to do the breakdown for you. So would you take the annuity or would you take the lump sum?
Okay, guys, so this is Chit Chat on the highway. It's okay. With this one YouTuber that I watch, which is the Unfrumpy Mom. Love her videos. Her and her husband had a conversation in reference to her husband stating that, was talking about men, if you're married, don't allow your wife to do all the chores in the house because he does the washing of all the clothes. But he was just talking in reference to sharing duties when it comes to household, I guess, different chores in the house. And I was asking my husband, what did he think about it? And what did you say, babe?
I agree with it. Because I look at it as if it was a shared, but there's some things like I ask that I won't like allow you to do. Like I want to ask you to say, hey, look, go, let you go empty the trash.
I don't empty the trash, people.
She don't empty the trash. I empty the trash. So, but I wouldn't expect her to do that. I wouldn't expect her to go empty the trash because I believe that was just me, as being brought up as a young man, as a little kid. Because hey, my dad always had us, the boys, to throw out the trash. I'm not saying that a woman can't do it. So, for all you people that see that, say I'm massaging this and all like that. No, I believe that the power of women. I do. So, before we even get that started, I just want to clear that up. But it was just me as being brought up as a young man. We had to empty the trash. So the chores inside the house, there's some things I love to do, like the yard work, flowers and stuff like that.
I don't do that kind of stuff.
She don't do that kind of, but she give orders about what she like and what color flowers.
No, he asks me what color flowers would I like for the outside of the house, and I'll tell him. And if he can find them or if he thinks that it's a good match for the house, because my husband is very coordinated when it comes to stuff like that. His yard, when I'm talking about lining of the grass, it has to be perfect. He likes flowers that will complement the house, the color. And where I'm thinking like just pretty, if I see like some purple flowers and I'll be like, oh, those are cute. And he'll like, no, he's always thinking of the surroundings of it, not just the
appearance of the flowers itself.
Right. So
but see, that's when all takes into landscape. But we complement each other. So you know where I'm lacking, you pick up. Where you like, and I picked up. So which makes us a great team. That's what I believe. And so I do agree with the gentleman what he was saying about, hey, you know, you shouldn't let your wife cook, clean. Because sometimes I'd like to get in there and cook. Not as much as she do, but I'm a barbecue kind of guy now. If you're gonna throw out the grill, hey, I'm all in. You know, but I do some things inside the house.
His first dish that he made for us when we were dating was some baked chicken. And he had invited me over to the house, and he had made some baked chicken with some golden mushroom gravy with mashed potatoes and I believe some string beans for vegetables. And guys, that was my first time tasting baked chicken with any kind of soup spread it over the chicken and baked with it.
Golden mushroom, y'all.
Right. And
that was one of my specialties, and I got a sprung on it.
For all the ladies.
No.
But it was good. It was really, really good. And that was the first time a gentleman had actually really cooked for me. And we met in 95.
What you mean, really?
Well, that was the first time a man ever cooked for me.
Somebody tried, it didn't work out well?
No, I take that back. That was the first time that anybody had ever cooked for me other than my mom or sisters. But
I had to just show what I was working with, guys. You know, just let you know. They always say food is the way to the man's stomach. I think to a woman's stomach too.
It was really good. Because then I went home and tried to mimic the recipe. But yeah, so when it comes to household chores, he helps out a lot. So it just makes me feel good, because I think some men think that they're the only ones that are doing things for their wives, and they'll be like, well, you have a good man, you know, on your shoulder. Other men aren't doing that, but there are plenty men, and my hat goes off to those men that do step up and share those kind of duties with their wives. Because I know, looking at YouTube and just looking and talking with the other ladies and seeing how they interact with their husbands, it lets me know that there are, you know, really truly some genuine men out there that are stepping up and just being that husband, being that partner that women need. And I really, really appreciate that. And I know my husband will tell me, you know, you should appreciate a man like me. I appreciate all men that step up to the plate and do what they, you know, should be doing, helping out, being a helpmate for their spouse. Because it's not, you know, 100% because the wife is at home, or thinking that, you know, it's a wife's job to stay in the house to clean up. Because my husband, he helps. And like I said, I know other ladies that I look at on YouTube, their husband helps them out. So, which is a really, really good thing. And I appreciate that about my husband. So, and he does.
So don't you guys think we're trying to throw a monkey wrench in somebody else's program? So whatever works for you, it works for you. But this is what works for us. And
True that.
she was just basically saying, hey, she's asking about the opinion of helping out at the house, and I'm all in. So.
Yep. Anything else you want to say back?
I love you.
He loves me. He loves me not.
Nice.
Do y'all remember? Did y'all used to do that with the flowers? You pick them off and be like, he loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. I know I did. Did you ever do that?
I did it. I mean, I love the one when you was a little kid. You ask in a box, you write a note, say, do you like me? Yes or no. And you check the box. You got no in one box, yes in the other box.
How many teachers
and then they fold the note and pass it back to you, because we did it in class. And you tell your boy, your girl, hey, pass this up there to such and such. He passes it up there, and she looks at it, she smiles a little bit. If she don't smile, you know what it's gonna be when it comes back.
How many teachers have collected those notes? I'm sure a lot of them. What are you passing back there, Johnny? Willie?
I said, Miss Carter, look, this girl up front, she is so fine.
You're right.
I'm passing this note to her. Because she keeps smiling at me, and I'm liking every bit of it.
You just want to know if she like them. Yes or no? Maybe. I remember that used to be on there too. Yeah. Yes, no, or maybe.
I tell Miss Carter, say, Miss Carter, can you ask her for me? You can't blow it up there and come close?
Hi guys, we have arrived at our hotel. I know I look a hot freaking mess, don't I? My hair is like everywhere. I'm so self-conscious of this hair, guys.
So what you gonna do? You gonna leave it straight or hang it down?
No, I'm gonna curl it. Definitely curl it.
Damn.
Hi guys. Okay guys, so we have made it to the hotel. I know this is a different look for me, guys, and I know you're probably saying, oh my god, what did she do? But I tried something different. I went with a wig. I kind of like it. It's different. I just have to get used to it. I'm so used to my own hair. I mean, 50 years. I've never had weave before. I've never had a wig before. So it's just an adjustment for me with this wig. And I'm so used to brown color. So I went with the brown, the tips of it being brown, and the top of it is black. So I guess that's where I'm having the biggest problem. I guess I'm so used to brown hair, it just looked weird on me. I'm thinking I should have got brown all over. I don't know, but I'm gonna curl it. I do like the texture of it. It's supposed to be real human hair. It was so nice. It's beautiful. I mean, you could just run your hands through it. I really, really like it. And I got the shortest one, so I don't know. But yeah, so that's why I look different, guys. But anyway, me and my husband was having a conversation, guys, before we got here. And the conversation was in reference to men with power. And he was giving his views on men with power that abuse it. And he had a different view than I had on it with men that is in high power that abuse it. So I'm just going to do a little chit chat. What do you ladies and gentlemen think? Do you think that men in power can sometimes abuse that power? If it is a man that is a owner of a company, and just say he comes into the office, and just say I'm working there, and he'd be like, hey Deborah, would you like to go out for a drink? And I'm like, sure. And we go out for a drink. Somebody of high power, it can be an actor, somebody that you know that has high power, that has money, and that can potentially either move you up in a company, become your husband, or something that you're thinking long term, whether it's dating or whatever. Okay, so if this guy come up to you and he'd be like, you know, whoever, I'm just going to use me as an example, Deborah, would you like to go out for a drink? And I'm like, okay, sure. So I go out with a drink with him, and like I said again, knowing that this man has millions, have money, have companies, have homes, I mean, just have, you know, a nice security, I guess you want to call it. And he come and he, you know, I'm thinking that, not at that time that it's soliciting, but he come to me, he asked me to go out with a drink, to have a drink. I, you know, take him up on his offer. We have a nice conversation. Somehow in the drinking, we end up at a hotel, okay? So we end up, you know, going the next step. And I'm thinking, you know, good about this. I'm like, oh, he must really like me. You know, he went this far. Or is this being naive, ladies? I don't know. You tell me. But if you feel that, you know, oh, okay, we went to the hotel. You know, he must be feeling me. And I'm feeling him. So maybe this can lead to something. Okay. So the next day, you go to work. He speak and go on about his way. And you're like, okay, did what just happened last night didn't happen? And then just say somebody else in the office. He goes to them and okay, hey Angie, would you like to go out for a drink? And Angie's like, sure. So Angie go out for a drink. Same thing happened to him. Do you think this is a man that abuses his power because he know that he can pretty much get what he want from these ladies just by him being in the status that he's at? Do you think that that is called abusing power? Or do you think that that's just a man that is basically, it's the woman's fault because we felt into it, you know? And just say it happens over and over and over. I myself feel that it is a man of power that is taking, what was it? Taking
advantage of someone?
Advantage of the situation because he is a man in power. But now my husband views on this.
And this is my view on it. To the same example that my wife was speaking of. I don't believe it's abuse of power if it was mutual. I believe it would have been an abuse of power if he pursued this young lady and she said no. He continued to pursue this young lady and she says no. Or he makes some kind of gesture where you know you can get moved up in the company, or by being nice to me, I can be nice to you. I think that's when it becomes abuse of power. Now, because he goes to someone, because he's the owner or somebody with stature, and he goes to say, hey, would you like to come out for a drink? and you mutually says yes, and you go out to drink or eat or whatever, and you wind back up at the hotel mutually, and things happen, I don't know how did you say it's abuse of power, because you had two people that was agreeing. And that's why I look at it. I think my wife's just looking at it because he has his statue of power. Because, look at it this way. I believe he was getting something out of the deal.
What, she get a drink?
Out of the deal. Hold on. But it was a drink.
She got a drink?
But it's a drink that she accepted. Now, my whole thing is, now, if she said no at any time, I don't think it'd be right. I don't think, because you're my boss or so forth. And she said no, and he continued to pursue her. It falls into like workplace harassment, or like I said, abuse of power, because he's making her think the only way she can keep her job, or she's at risk of losing her job if she doesn't go out with him. That's why I think the abuse of power will come. But because he says, hey, you mind if we go out, and you accept right off the bat, thinking that it might go further, and it don't, I think, hey, it's all on you then.
Do you think it's fair ground, people?
Hey,
I mean, wouldn't you say that this man, knowing that he has this power, and he know that the women in the office, and I think it's just the day that we're living in, that women are so eager to advance in whatever and wherever they're at.
See, but you just answered your own question.
But no, but my thing is, you're knowing this. So if a man come into a workplace and you're knowing this, that's just like, it's almost temptation. And I was explaining, I gave a different scenario to my husband, and he stated that there weren't any same scenario to the situation, which I'm going to give it to you. Now, if, just say for instance, I know in Chicago this had happened not too long ago, in the summertime actually. The police ended up putting a truck in her neighborhood that they know was a low poverty neighborhood, and know that the young men in the neighborhood, I wouldn't say are starving, but I would say that know what would tempt them, okay? So they put the truck in the neighborhood with some new gym shoes. And the only thing, and they left this truck out there knowing that the people in the neighborhood will go and seek this truck out. And that is exactly what happened. So the people in the neighborhood, the young guys in the neighborhood, ended up staking this truck out, bust the lock off the back, and noticed that new gym shoes was in the truck. Now, of course, if they don't see anybody around there, what do you think that they're gonna do? These guys are young, they feel like that they don't have anything. They're gonna go and they're gonna take it. And that's just what they did. And I think it was a setup, being that the police put this truck out there, which the police are saying it wasn't a setup. But come on, you put a truck in a neighborhood, low poverty neighborhood, that you know young men, that you're tempting them. And that's the same thing I think with a owner of a company. Now, just like I know, you know, what's right and wrong, that owner of a company should know too that you don't abuse your power because you do have this high power. To know that, just like I can say no, he knows what he's doing. Come on, fellas and ladies. If a man, a owner of a company, sought out, just say 10 to 15 women in a company, there's a trend there. And he know because of his power, he's taking advantage of it. But the women don't have to say yes and go with them. They do have the right, but you're baiting them. Basically, they know that you have all of this. They know that you're established. They know that you have, this is your company. So you're pretty much, you know, baiting these women. And they're thinking it's any opportunity or any chance that, you know, that they can move up or become your woman or your wife potentially. They're gonna probably take it. Especially he's attractive. I mean, come on, we got women throwing themselves at Donald Trump, and we already know he's not attractive, at least to my eye. But hey, teacher's on. If that's what you like, that's what you like. But I just think it is I I think basically it is using the power that you have, and I just don't think, I think it's wrong. But that's just my view. So let me know, ladies and gentlemen, what you think. Let me know if you think that you can abuse your power by dating women in the office, knowing that you are this person of high stature, if you can abuse it in that way. And the way that we came up with the conversation is because of what happened with Bill Clinton and his
side piece.
his side piece. But what Hillary has said, and we were just chatting on the way driving up to St. Louis, and that was one of the conversations, many other conversations that we had in there. So we thought that we would invite you all in on this conversation, because to me it was a good conversation, and we both had, you know, different views about it. And because you have a different view about it doesn't mean that I don't, you know, hey, he has his view, I have my view, but we still love each other. Right, Mr. Crowder?
That's right. 100%.
So I just wanted to know where you guys stood on that. Do you think that it's that you can abuse your power by being someone of high power, knowing that you have this high power, if you can abuse it? Okay, my husband is going to pose the questions, because maybe sometimes I may not.
No, that's fine. I think what I'm saying is, I think you should pose the question. We'll ask.
Okay, he's asking. Hold on.
Do your example.
Hold on.
Is that abuse of power?
I
don't think so.
Okay. Do you think that it is abuse of power when men in high power use it? Well, no, because then I don't want you to look at it as in my view. I want you all to have an open mind and just tell me, do you think that it's abusive for a man in high power to
pursue
women,
different women within a company?
Okay, pursue different women in a company.
But then I told you, it's like, it's two different things you have to look at. Is it mutual? I don't think it's abuse of power if it's mutual. I think it becomes workplace harassment, sexual
It's not harassment if you accept it.
Exactly. And that's why I don't think it falls in the guideline as abuse of power, because abuse of power falls into where it's basically, I think, if you're pursuing, because it could be both ways.
Okay.
I understand what you're coming from.
Now he just said that. Okay, and I'm sure a lot of you already know that my husband is the Chicago police officer. Okay.
I didn't put my stuff out like that.
Well, they already know. But anyway, so if a sergeant.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
If a sergeant, and we all know that a sergeant carry a little rank in the police station.
They carry a rank in there.
Okay. So, do women, and I'm sure you've been in the force long enough to see this flourish.
Okay.
Have you ever saw women accept a sergeant request because of his statue, thinking that, or because of his position?
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't get in their mind to tell you what it was. Yes, I done saw women hit on people. I done seen women hit on patrolmen because they are attracted to you. So I don't know.
But do you think it's a so much as being attractive, or do you think it's for them to?
You get in the mind of a person. You see what I'm saying? You can't get in the mind of a person.
Come on, people. We all know what people are thinking today.
But we can't. We can assume that, but we can't say that's exactly what they're thinking.
But 9 times out of 10, if you see somebody, a sergeant, going after women and women accepting his request, do you think that these women are accepting the request because they think that they can gain something out of it? Come on now, be honest.
I'm being honest.
And wouldn't you say that that's abusing your power because you have this authority over them?
No.
You feel that you can do this.
No. I think you're weighing it in 2 different categories. You're weighing in, one is basically saying it's an abuse of power, but it's a mutual between 2 adults. Now, the workplace do frown upon basically relationships. in the workplace because they know it can cause some problems.
Right.
But we're looking at two different things. We're talking about abuse of power, and we're looking at basically where the relationships are mutual. Because my thing is, even because he's a sergeant, he's still a human being too. Now, if he asks a patrolman, female patrolman out, and work on the same watch with her, what they do on their own time is their time. But what she thinking might come out of the relationship. Do you think
women think that?
And what he think might come out of the
Do
relationship.
you think women think that?
Think what?
That they gonna gain something for doing what they do.
Some maybe, but how we can get in the minds of people
No.
to say what they're thinking. But if
But we're not. But I'm just saying.
Even if they do think they're gonna gain something, how's that abuse of power on his part? So my thing is
because he knowing he has this power.
It goes back to the statement you were saying. That sounds like entrapment to me. She thinking that, hey, I can come over here because I'm expecting something in return. What is that?
Okay, so just say.
What is that?
Steve Harvey, which I'm not a fan of Steve Harvey, but if you are, again, that's, all good. I'm just naming a man of height that has a little power.
Why you always call it a little power? He got a little power.
He does, because he don't have no power over this. But anyway, some women may like, Steve Harvey and what he has. If he approached these ladies, even though he is married, which he was married prior to his new wife, but because of the power that he had, women will accept his.
But that's not his fault.
It's not his fault, but because he know that come on now. A man know, I got power. Come on.
It's not his
Okay,
fault.
so we're going to end this video, guys. And
his fault. If she already thinking
you guys,
she's trying to run.
You guys tell me what you think. Do you think it is abuse of power do you think that is called abuse of a power? Or do you think that, no, it is not called abuse of a power? It's a women just...
I should get somebody lying.
It's just mutual.
Right, call in, y'all. Call in.
I don't know how you gonna call in, but...
Hey, shoot it. Shoot.
So, yeah, so just let me know. And I'm going to end this video. We are going to get ready for tonight, and we shall be back. Mr. and Mrs. Crowder. Mr. and Mrs. C. Hey.
Good night, everyone.
Not good night. See you later. He'll be back once he dress up, guys. Mr. and Mrs. C is out, so we will talk to you all soon. Love, peace, and happiness, and I hope you all are having a fabulous day. Bye-bye. Want to say bye? Peace out. Deuces. Deuce. Bye-bye, people.